Okay, these last two are actually slides or goals or whatever that Kevin and I actually shared. They were so similar that we kind of just combined them. Mine was find your passion. Finding a job or a career that you really love, and you'll never work a day in your life. I was fortunate enough to find that in an academic career. As I said, I've been here at NIU for over 20 years, and I still thoroughly enjoy getting up in the morning and coming to work every day. I can't see myself in a different career than what I'm doing. One of the things that makes it rewarding for me is the fulfillment that I get from having students return after they've left NIU. They may be out in the workforce, they may go to graduate school, whatever, and they come back or they contact me many years later and they share their successes. And it's very rewarding for me to know that in some small way I've been a part of helping them achieve that goal. In Randy Pausch's lecture, he talks about helping others achieve their goals, and one of the points that he made was helping somebody else achieve their dreams is a lot more fun. And I can guarantee you it's been a lot more fun for me to watch some of my old students achieve wonderful things, to achieve careers where they are very happy and successful, and then they come back and share that with me. It makes me feel tremendous knowing that I've been a part of that.
Oh wait, never mind.
Nope, not yet.
That's all right. Now these are the same, so I can change it. All right. Doing what you love and loving what you do are not necessarily two different things, or not necessarily the same thing. You can make a career out of doing what you love, but things can change. Things always do change, and you can end up with a boss you don't get along with, a coworker that just makes the workplace hell, things like that. Don't ever hesitate to change what you're doing to get back into something you're passionate about. If you do what you love, and my train of thought just blew up. I got this far without blowing it, though. That's a good thing. You can do what you love, and you can enjoy something, and you don't have to make any money. You don't have to make millions of dollars to do what you love. Money really doesn't matter. You need it to survive, but beyond that, money is not what creates happiness. You know, I love fast cars, but I wouldn't trust myself with one anyway, so I don't need money for that. And big houses can be works of art. If you have the money and enjoy architecture as an art form, go right ahead, buy a big house. But a house is not equal to a home. And what matters with a home is the love that's inside of it. In the same way that the size of a heart is defined, the more love that's in it, the bigger the heart. The more love, the bigger the home. Which is quite appropriate since home is where the heart is. Bring as much love as you can into the home, and you will enjoy it as much as you can. All right. On to number one.
Which brings us to the last one.
Which is love.
Right. And I don't think it's any coincidence that Kevin and I achieved this number one goal separately. We've been through a lot, but I think the values that I've tried to instill in my kids, the values that I've learned from them, and as being part of a committed relationship for 25 plus years, it makes sense that this is number one on the list. It's not just an emotion. Love is not just a romantic notion. It's a way of life. It's a conscious choice that you make every day as to how you're going to live your life, what is going to motivate you, or what is going to dictate the decisions that you make at any step along the way. To me, love is the greatest positive force in the universe, but it's also the greatest paradox. It's the one thing in the world that no matter how much of it you give away, you will never run out. In fact, the more you give, the more you have. It can also cause incredible pain, the pain of unrequited love, the pain of having to watch someone you care about suffer with a terrible illness or to go through a difficult time. And yet, in spite of the pain that it may cause, I don't know anyone who would choose not to love, just to spare themselves that pain. In the words of the poet, it is better to have loved than lost, than never to have loved at all. In the words of a more modern poet, if you could call him a poet, John Cougar Mellencamp, it hurts so good. Love, or the capacity to love, is one of the things that distinguishes us from other animals. Love is what makes it possible for us to get out of bed in the morning and look forward to a new day, no matter how terrible the day before may have been. Loving and being loved is the only thing that can bring true happiness and fulfillment. Money can't, fame can't, success, no matter how you may define it, it can't. If we love and are loved by others, we can get through tough times. All those other things, money, success, whatever, they're all fleeting. And if we act with love, act out of love, there's no obstacle that cannot be overcome, no problem that cannot be resolved. This does not mean that love will solve every problem. There are problems that do not have solutions. Terminal illnesses, for example. But if you have love, you can deal with them. You may not be able to solve all the problems, but you can deal them and you can face them together. And that's what's important. In closing, I'd like to just throw out a couple of quotes that I think speak to the qualities of love. The first is from Corinthians. Love bears all burdens, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. And the last one is a quote, of course, from another movie. Johnny Depp in Don Juan DeMarco said, "There are 4 questions of value in life. What is sacred? Of what is the spirit made? What is worth living for? And what is worth dying for?" The answer to each is the same. Only love.
Love is the most important way of life. Living love is the most important thing to being happy and to making the world a better place. We've all been, I'm sure, taught the golden rule at some point, probably kindergarten, first grade. I believe that the golden rule is flawed. The golden rule, as I was taught it, is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I've been through a shitload of bad things. I don't really care what people do to me, but what I care about is what they do to the people that I love. I would rewrite the golden rule as do unto others as you would have them do to those you love. Thank you very much.
Thank you both so much, Kevin and David, for sharing your top 10 list. I hope you all have found it as educational and as inspirational as I have. I think this is a great charge for all of us to come up with what our top 10 list, or our 10 list would be as we go throughout life. So I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for coming and enjoy writing your top 10 list.